Okay, so your boy thought we were live for the last 5 minutes, but turns out we weren't. Jackson just so happily casually goes, "Oh, we're not live." Fantastic. I've also been whitening my teeth.
Dude, I need to do that. What do you use?
It came with my Smile Direct Club. Like when I got my Smile Direct, because I had braces, but my braces, how do you put it? The retainers they give you.
Yeah.
My dog ate it the first year I had her, like 4 years ago. So I didn't wear a retainer for a year and a half, and I had a gap tooth like my freshman year of college. Like, dude, like legit gap tooth, like freshman year of college. Yeah. So going into the summer of after my freshman year, I paid like for Smile Direct, and the problem is I don't have an adult tooth right here.
Oh,
right.
What?
Yeah, what
does that mean?
Oh, right here.
Oh, fuck. Where did it go?
It just didn't come with one. Yeah.
It didn't come. Your fucking life didn't come with an adult tooth.
Right there. I don't have an adult tooth right there. So my teeth, I have to have a retainer, or like if my teeth start to space because there's nothing keeping that pressure there. Yeah. No adult tooth ever grew in. I've met 4 people with the same thing, same spot. Like I'll be talking to him like, "You don't have an adult tooth?" He's like, "Yeah." I was like, "Same." He's like, "Oh my God." Like I've met a couple of people that are like, "I thought I was the only one." I was like, "Nah, dude." He's like, "Suppose it's very common. This tooth, nothing. It's a very common. It's like 1 in 6 people don't have that tooth, or 1 in 8 people."
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It's a very common tooth not to have.
Forget who I saw. They had the whitest teeth. I think it might have been my cousin on East.
If they're super white, they're veneers. They're veneers. If they're super white, were his teeth perfect too?
Yeah.
He has veneers.
What's a veneer?
It's what rich people have.
They fake teeth?
Yeah. Like I'm gonna get veneers on the top, like right here.
I'd love some veneers.
So like I'll show you. Like veneers are here, let me just it's what rich people do. Like you're supposed to not do it because like they shave your teeth down and they put like fake teeth. But like for example, like here's Miley Cyrus before and after veneers.
Well, those are both white. Why'd she even
look at her teeth on the left? Now look at how perfect.
Her teeth on the left are pretty white.
No, it's not even the whiteness. Look how perfect the shapes are. They're like the ones on the right look like cheeklets. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the pic next to it was like a good, like on the top. Yeah, it's a good example of.
Look, shit. Before veneers.
Okay, maybe I don't want veneers. I just need some like crest whitening strips or something.
I mean, it's nice. It's nice. It's just you gotta get them replaced every 10 to 15 years.
Okay.
And these are all the different styles of veneer. Like I probably would do dominant style. I so did that as a joke, but but yeah, here's a good one. Before or after. Top is the befores, bottom are the afters. How your teeth look.
What in the world?
They just shave your teeth. That's why it's like kind of frowned upon.
Yeah.
That they shave your teeth to get.
I don't like people messing with my teeth.
No, I agree. I did not mean to leave rapid tags on. But here, let's get right into it. We're going to talk Atlanta Hawks. The Mavericks are a mess. Wizards off season, and then we'll wrap it off with some playoff predictions. Let me just redo these tags because, dude, vidIQ, any AI, all the AIs are like a year old or 2 years old in the information. So like I'll add vidIQ, use your AI to generate me tags or like or description, and it just writes me a description from 2021.
DeJounte Murray and the San Antonio Spurs are out of the playoffs.
Or they'll be like, sometimes they just tell me wrong information. They'll be like, "Hey,
dude, AI is wrong sometimes.
AI is so stupid."
Yeah,
I'm not for it. All right, let's start off. Did you hear what happened in Atlanta?
No.
The reports that came out yesterday, at least.
Oh, they're open to trading Trae Young?
Well, I think that was the clickbait way of putting it out there. They're open. So Quinn Snyder has final roster say is the big thing we found out yesterday.
Let's go.
So Quinn Snyder is the mofo who decides who is going to stay and who is going, like he holds the fate. And someone left a great comment saying this is honestly a great power play by the the Hawks because they're basically telling their young core either shape up or ship out, you know? And Quinn Snyder is going to be the guy who has final say, guy who has the decision over who's going to be on said roster. And with that being said, I personally think Trae Young not being traded. I've said this for the longest time. I personally think in the next year or so, we are going to see a guy like DeJounte Murray get signed and traded for like Jaylen Brown, where Jaylen Brown is going to get signed and traded to Atlanta, and then Atlanta signed and trades DeJounte Murray to Boston.
Dude, DeJounte on the Boston Celtics would be sick.
Because both of their contracts are expiring. I don't see them trading Trae Young, but what I think this is Clint Capella is gone. Clint Capella is not coming back. Onyeka Okongwu, we can all agree, ended the season off showing more offensive potential, showing that he's equally as good or if not almost the same rebounder. And we can all agree Onyeka Okongwu, way better multi-positional hybrid defender who can step out onto the perimeter, unlike Clint Capella. DeAndre Hunter, it's a failure. They probably are going to look to move on from DeAndre Hunter and re-sign Saddiq Bey. Saddiq Bey looks like what we were hoping DeAndre Hunter was. DeAndre Hunter, we thought he was going to be this laterally quick guy who was going to have the agility to move between guards and forwards. He can't. And the shooting, he's like a fifth option that you probably want to pay at most like $15, $12 million, but you're paying him like 20. So you're probably going to want to move on from him. And yeah, I think the only two people in this picture that will be here next year. Actually, I think there's a small chance John Collins stays, and that's because John Collins is a leader of men. The stuff that John Collins has gone through, and I think with Quinn Snyder might look at John Collins and it's like, hey, I can unlock you. But at the same time,
he can too. Yeah,
that's what I see. I think Quinn Snyder looks at John Collins. He's like, dude, I know what to do with you. Like I got a plan for you. But at the same time, I could see Quinn Snyder being like, hey, I just got a call from so-and-so, let's say like the Suns, and they're like, if we send John Collins and Clint Capella, they'll send us DeAndre Ayton and then send a few contracts to the Pistons, and we'll get Bojan Bogdanovic and DeAndre Ayton for John Collins and Clint Capella, something like that. That was just so I could see that if they get it, because we can all agree out of DeAndre Hunter, Clint Capella, John Collins has the most trade value.
Yeah.
But yeah, the green light, Trae Young could be traded. Obviously, that's not going to happen. I think the green light was to get everybody shaking in their boots, knowing that shape up or ship out, buy in or you're buying out. Yeah. What are your thoughts on this whole Atlanta Hawks situation?
Yeah, you kind of have to. After last year and then this year, they're just, honestly, no one's going to, people keep talking about Miami being a tough matchup for Boston. Atlanta is not an easy matchup for any team, but yeah, it's not, they made the Eastern Conference Finals a couple of years ago and they aren't doing that anymore. So you kind of got to figure something out. I don't think the answer is trading Trae Young. I love the idea of sign and trade, flipping DeJounte for Jaylen Brown. I think that would be a needle mover. Okongwu's nice. AJ Griffin, there's still a lot. I think the fact that you're a rookie and you shoot 39% from downtown, I think that's just so impressive no matter what your skill set. I know he's supposed to be shooting around there coming out of Duke, but that's no small feat for an entire season. You're a consistent three-point shooter. If he can add a couple more tricks to the bag, pair him with Saddiq Bey, you got a nice little complimentary duo there off the bench and the starters. But yeah, I think something needs to be done. The DeAndre Hunter ascension to a Mikal Bridges, with Brooklyn didn't happen. So he's a valuable trade asset to have, even if it's not as high as some of us were thinking it would be. But they got to do something. And I think Quinn Snyder is perfect. Hawks fans kind of know where they stand right now. It's like, all right, let's see what we have. Let's continue to evaluate it. Let's see if we can get into the playoffs, out of the play-in, go from there. But changes are coming. Changes came already with the firing of Nate and the addition of Quinn Snyder. And I think Quinn's the right guy for the job. I know we were very big on the pickup a couple of months ago. So it's not panic time in Atlanta, man. You still got a stud of a player in Trae Young, but you got to make some moves here.
Yeah, and I think people don't realize Quinn Snyder comes from the San Antonio Spurs lineage, and the setup they have here in Atlanta is very reminiscent to San Antonio, where San Antonio, technically their president of basketball operation is R.C. Buford, but we all know the guy who has final say and roster control is Greg Popovich. And that's what's going on here. I think Quinn Snyder's basically, when he negotiated this deal, he saw how his mentor did it, Greg Pop, and he told Landry Fields and Kyle Korver, I'm interested in coming to Atlanta, but I want final say. You guys will be my RC Buford. It'll be a collaborative effort. We'll all be in the room together, pitching these trades, talking it out, but you guys have to present it to me, or I got to give the thumbs up, thumbs down on the deal, and that's what's going to be, because this is my motherfucking team. Yeah. You got, and I'm a big proponent on, saying this message, because I think a lot of people disregard this fact, and it is that the NBA is a league as a whole. What up, Rocket News? What up, Chris Boy? So the NBA is a league where there's two roles. A coach coaches the players. Okay, most coaches don't have roster control. So they don't have a decision on who the hell they're coaching. So for me, I think it is a very big thing that people overlook is they get mad at the coaches and stuff. This is why I defend Nick Nurse. Masai Ujiri has screwed over Nick Nurse the last 2-3 seasons in terms of not giving him proper roster depth. This is a team that's only had 7, 8, 9 guys. I mean, not even 8 or 9 guys, 7 guys, really, 8 guys. And they're usually all bigs that are bench off. They've never, and I blame Masai Ujiri for not giving him the players to actually have a rotation. And I think that's something people forget is like they get pissed off the coaches for these rotations. I'm like, they don't have anyone else to play. Like their general manager the general manager is in charge of roster construction. Coaches are the puppeteers. They're the ones controlling the roster.
Yeah. So, I feel the same with the Rockets. Like I know, Steven Silas, and that's where it gets a little interesting because it's like, okay, well, the rotations aren't good. They've got like Steven Silas where it's like, what's this rotation here? Why is Daishan Nick still our backup point guard 70 games into the season? But then from a non-biased standpoint, I look at the Rockets roster and I'm like, well, yeah, we're a 22-win team no matter who's being thrown out there. So I think for a guy like Quinn Snyder is the perfect candidate where I want, like just like Coach Pop, like, yeah, this is a smart dude, knows what he's doing, he's proven, and let's give him some control and let's get him the guys that he wants. So,
yeah, you gotta restart this roster in the sense that obviously keep Trae Young, DeJounte Murray, Sadiq Bey, AJ Griffin. I'm trying to think. I really do believe in Onyeka Okongwu. I really think Clint Capella, DeAndre Hunter, and John Collins are the 3 names to watch this offseason. Bogdanovich is perfect for the Quinn Snyder system. Like he's going to play that the Bogdanovich role. Like he fits this perfect. I can understand if they do trade Bogdan because I personally think he has bad knees. And I mean, I feel like his role can be very easily replaced.
Oh, wow. It's something of interest that he's only played, like this year played 54 because he missed the start. 63 2 years ago. 44, that season was condensed. Still not an ideal. Like you want your players playing at least 60.
And they just gave it. My thought was when they gave him the extension was so they could trade him.
Yeah, a team will definitely would love to take Bogdan off their hands.
I love Bogdan.
Talks about him getting shipped out at the deadline.
He's just got he's 28 or 29. Like he's still like in the prime. The knee. And the thing is with this team is defense. Like we know they can score, even though I made a video the other day basically getting mad that like this team's offense sucked this year, which is the one thing that shouldn't suck. And I think just figuring out, I mean, first off, people don't understand it takes 1 season for Quinn Snyder's offense to be implemented. It's like one of the most complex offenses, and they had limited practicing time in like the 20 or so games that they had Quinn Snyder as their coach. So that's something that's going to be applied. So I think the DeJounte Murray, Trae Young duo will look different. But I think the 3 guys that will be traded maybe 4, and everyone else I think stays, is Clint Capella will be replaced by Onyeka Okongwu, so they'll look to move from Clint Capella. It's just time. Okay, Onyeka Okongwu can defend arguably some guards, some wings, and he can step out against power forwards, and he can guard centers. Like Onyeka Okongwu has the potential to be like Bam Adebayo light, And then you have DeAndre Hunter, who's underachieved, and he's just not worth the contract. So you'll look to move him. And then we talked about this. We both believe that Quinn Snyder could tap into John Collins, and like maybe Quinn Snyder looks at John Collins and thinks that. But at the same time, we probably think that there's teams out there thinking that about John Collins. So I think the 3 names to look on this team that definitely will be moved: Clint Capella, DeAndre Hunter, and John Collins. Maybe Bogdanovich as well. I think everyone else should be safe. Saddiq Bey will be. That's why I also think DeAndre Hunter will be traded, is so they can re-sign Saddiq Bey and not have 2 similar contracts on the books. Because I think the Saddiq Bey is going to be a similar contract to DeAndre Hunter, right?
Probably not.
Less?
Yeah. But what do you average, 11?
What Saddiq Bey got 4-year 80 or 4-year 100?
Saddiq or DeAndre?
DeAndre, my apology. 4-year 80, right?
Either or, yeah. I mean, I
didn't know he got more than Keldon Johnson. Keldon got 4-year 80. I think it was 4-year 100.
Okay. Well, yeah, he's not Keldon Johnson. So and he's not even DeAndre Hunter. So I love Saddiq Bey, but I mean, I think
surprised if he's. I think Saddiq Bey
his impact's better than the statistics document.
We can both agree. Quinn Snyder, Saddiq Bey was better than DeAndre Hunter, Quinn Snyder.
Yeah, I mean,
impact on the court.
Yeah,
their stats won't say it, but the impact on the court, the Hawks looked better when Saddiq Bey was on the floor instead of Hunter.
Yeah, they got to figure out the defense, man. I can't even remember the last time they had a top, even average statistical defense. It might have been.
I think that Nate
McMillan were in town.
I think Nate McMillan, when they went on that run to the Eastern Conference Finals, I think when Nate McMillan took over for Lloyd Pierce, I think they were top 15 in defense while being the number 1 offense, which ironically, the last time they were top 15 in defense, they went on an Eastern Conference Final run.
Yeah, but for a whole season, they haven't.
I know, but what I'm saying is that season when they fired Lloyd Pierce and Nate McMillan took over, Nate McMillan in his first half season in that Eastern Conference Finals run, I'm pretty sure they were either a top 10 or a top 15 defense while being the number 1 offense. And they haven't done that since. And the one time they did do that, they go on an Eastern Conference Finals run.
Yeah.
So I just think it just shows, damn, if this team has defense, it seems like they're pretty good. So let's move over here and let's talk about a different team that is going through something else. I don't believe in firing Jason Kidd or Nico Harrison after their second season. And wait 1 second, we got some comments that I just want to address. We got it good if they should try and re-sign Young for next season. I mean, Young's already on his extension. Hawks and Heat done. They played Denver. What is it with grammar today, people? Done. They played Denver Nuggets, Bull at Raptors. Done. They Boston Celtics, T-Wolves at Lakers. Done. They play Denver Nuggets, Thunder at New Orleans Pelicans. They done play Memphis. I have no idea, man. I tried.
I can't do it.
I can't do that. And they just did it again. I'm sorry. Field Poster City, Country Coffee, Cherry Bowl King. Bulls at Raptor. They done. They play Boston Celtics.
I don't think it's possible for those teams to play the Boston Celtics.
I don't.
It's not. Yeah.
Yeah, they play the first seed.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to talk about the Dallas Mavericks. What is going on here? Some people are getting mad because people were like, Jason Kidd played for the last 2 games of the season. He had JaVale McGee and Christian Wood closing out games and games that matter before they taint. Okay, Luka Doncic said he's happy here, but something needs to change. Kyrie Irving, they have to re-sign him, I assume, or if it's a loss. I mean, first off, I think they will re-sign him. They'll give him the most money. But what the hell do? You got to get rid of Tim Hardaway Jr., Christian Wood, JaVale McGee. You got to get rid of everyone not named Luka, Kyrie, and probably Maxi Kleba and Reggie Bullock, because that's your only other valuable defender, and then fill this whole roster up with defense. I don't know. What do you do here, Jackson? What do you do here? How do you surround Luka and Kyrie? Because my thought is these are two ball dominant guys. So you need more guys like Reggie Bullock and Maxi Kleba, who will not need the ball in their hands. Reggie Bullock and Maxi Kleba are cool moving the ball and catching shoot threes. We need the whole roster filled with two-way guys catching shoot threes and defense that don't need a dribble.
Yes, Seawood's definitely gone. That was Seawood. I think we're all aware of what Seawood is at this point.
You think someone's gonna pay Seawood? It'd be like, I think I can get him, or you think that was his only contract?
I think his defensive. I think if these GMs are watching the Mavs play, I think they're like,
is he Montrezl Harrell? He's the next Montrezl Harrell. Where Montrezl Harrell, didn't he get that like 2 or 3 year deal with the Clippers? Got paid, then he got paid one more time by the Lakers. Shits the bed. Since then, I think it's now 3 years in a row. He's been like a veteran vet min with the Wizards and with the Hornets and with the Sixers this year. He was a veteran minimum.
Yeah, I don't think Seawood's going to be in the NBA for a deep career if he continues the defense he's doing. I think that's just so
he's Montrezl Harrell.
Yeah, that's his minutes played weren't too bad, but you saw it towards the end of the season. They're just like, yeah, I think we're kind of all set. He only played 21.6 minutes in the second half of the season. It's just he's a great scorer. He's a phenomenal scorer. Also, teams like Dallas, they make this, and the Rockets, they make this mistake thinking Christian Wood's a center. Never has, never will be. Nothing wrong with that. But like the Mavs had a great defense last year. I think the Wood addition is kind of just it puts everything in the bigger picture where it's like the Mavericks for some reason didn't buy in this year. I don't think that they bought in thinking that they have the best roster.
They lost the defense.
And it's visible on the defensive side. And when you really break it down, it's not like the team isn't that different, man. They started last year with Chris.
They stopped rebounding.
I know that they lost Dinwiddie. I know that they lost DFS. Like DFS is a tough loss. He's reliable. He can knock down threes. He's a great defender. He's switchable. He can do it all. But it's not like they're going to be, a top 5 defense like they were last year to, what were they this year? One of the bottom 10, right?
Yeah.
They bottom 10 this year. It's not like DFS is the only reason that happened. So, yeah, you got to overturn this roster. Like getting guys like JaVale, I don't remember talking about this offseason. I don't know what JaVale gives me. I need an Ayton. I need to retain Luka Doncic.
So you just brought up. So allegedly, if the Mavericks keep their first round pick, they have already decided to make 3 players their priority, and those 3 players are, drum roll please, DeAndre Ayton, John Collins, and I believe the other one is Miles Turner. Is the last one. I will give you confirmation in 1 second with the whole DeAndre.
John Collins is perfect, but I need
DeAndre Ayton, Miles Turner, and John Collins. And next year, if they bring back Kyrie, they'll have Luka and Kyrie both making probably $40 million each. Tim Hardaway is making 17.8. Davis Bertans is making 17. And I think if you look at this, you put Davis and Tim Hardaway, that's about 34.8. You throw in JaVale, that brings you about 40 million. And you put that if it's the number 10 overall pick. So Tim Hardaway Jr., Davis Bertans, JaVale McGee, and the 10th overall pick, if you do get it. Do you think either the Pacers, the Suns, or the Hawks will all accept that offer for either Miles Turner, DeAndre Ayton, or John Collins? Tim Hardaway Jr., Davis Bertans, JaVale McGee, and the 10th overall pick. Is that a good enough offer for any of those 3 players? Let me hear your thoughts.
Not really, but if you have a guy like John Collins that we've seen before.
So you don't think that's acceptable for any of them?
The only way I see that being acceptable is if one of those guys is like, yeah, get me out.
You don't think that's enough? Who do you think's who has the lowest trade value out of those three guys?
I don't think JaVale offers anybody anything, unfortunately. He's a backup center, and that's what he excelled with. JaVale McGee had one of the best backup center roles of all time.
Well, you're trading for the 10th overall pick. The rest are salary fillers.
Yeah, the defense, it doesn't seem – the 10th pick in this year's draft doesn't seem like a huge get for those specific squads. Even maybe the Pacers – but
because they're rebuilding,
yeah, they're more like in a weird
retool.
And they have a good draft pick this year, so maybe they are interested in that to pair with Tyrese Halliburton and their young Bucks because they're not quite ready to win yet. They're going to be.
Do you think that package though? That's the best package they have right there.
Because that's why I'm thinking like a team like Indiana might be a little bit open to that, where it's like, okay, we could get Tim Hardaway Jr., another vet, another savvy vet. And we have a top 10 pick, and now we could have 2 top 10 picks. And it's like, all right, with Halliburton's age and Benedict Mathurin having a good rookie season, that's maybe a little bit more on our timeline than Miles Turner. But it's not like Miles Turner's that old. With the trading Miles Turner thing, it's just like, oh, he hasn't. We've been having these conversations for 3 years now, and he's still on the team. So how realistic is it?
I just find it very hard to upgrade the Dallas Mavericks without trading Davis Bertans and even Tim Hardaway's contract specifically.
And especially if you're retaining Kyrie,
yeah. If you took the words, especially if you're retaining Kyrie, you got to get rid of $17 million for Davis Bertans. And I love me Tim Hardaway Jr., but you have Jaden Hardy, in my opinion, who can do the same thing that Tim Hardaway Jr. Or if you don't believe in Jaden Hardy, there's another guy in free agency who's going to cost half of what Tim Hardaway does, who can do the same thing that Tim Hardaway does. And I think
he's expendable.
I think JaVale McGee, he's not making too much money, but if you could move on from him, you would, because you can get a younger center in free agency.
You know who would be probably the Mavericks' best option that isn't in a trade?
Who?
Mr. Jakob Poeltl.
Oh, yeah.
I think if they were to get, like, imagine.
But the Raptors have his bird rights, I believe. The Raptors have his bird rights, so the Raptors can pay him.
It's going to be
ideal.
It's unlikely.
Yeah, it's unlikely.
Could you imagine a team of even Dre? Like, think of a team of Kyrie, Luka, Dre, or John Collins and Jakob Poeltl. That's so much of that's guaranteed postseason right there. That's the squad. And it sucks that they missed the play-in because, man, I was just talking to my buddy Arjun about this last night where it's like, we were comparing him to James Harden, and he's like better than James Harden because in the playoffs at this young career, he's one of the best playoff performers statistically we've ever seen. So if you're at Dallas, you have to, the Kyrie was a good step in the right direction to at least show you're willing to make these big time moves. I personally don't think that the Kyrie Luka mix would ever work. So I'm not that.
Oh, you have no faith?
I have zero faith in it. I don't believe it at all. But you can't blame the season on your GM, your owner, Kyrie Irving addition, even though it didn't work out well. I think we're seeing like, okay, Kyrie and Luka are not the duo I'm looking for. I need a more Chris Middleton guy. I don't need a Kyrie. I don't need a guy who needs ball in his hands. It's not on Jason Kidd either, though. I fully agree with you. Like last year, it wasn't on Jason Kidd. Last year, he's getting all this praise. They have a bad year this year, and all of a sudden, it's all Jason Kidd's fault. So, yeah, get defenders.
If they brought Draymond Green in somehow, do you think that – and they kept Kyrie, do you think that changes everything?
I think it does. I think that's how impactful Draymond Green is, even at this age.
Dylan Brooks is a free agent this offseason.
Dylan Brooks, yeah, that would be awesome as well.
So is Brook Lopez and Nikola Vucevic. You also have.
I think they'll both be back.
Bring back Harrison Barnes.
Harrison Barnes, just like Dylan Brooks, would be perfect. Yeah.
Josh Hart's another guy that I think would really fit well for this team. Bruce Brown, I think, are guys that they should be looking at. Yeah, I think these are all guys. Grant Williams is another one I think would bring size. I mean, even Kelly Oubre would, I think, be helpful on this team.
Oh, yeah. Big time.
Yeah. Trey Jones, free agent this year. Tyus Jones' younger brother.
Trey Jones, great player. He could be the next Jalen Brunson if they pick him up.
Yeah, Max Strus is out there too. PJ Washington's going to be there. I think there are options out here to get these two-way. KJ Martin, Okay, there are guys out there that they could fill for like mid-level exceptions or part of the mid-level exceptions that can be two-way guys. Jalen McDaniels from Philadelphia. I think there's people I hear people are doubting that can come in. I think even Kevin Love, like on a veterans men's, could help. Naz Reid, baby. Like,
yeah, Naz Reid. Might be a similar situation to Christian Wood, but
yeah,
a little
so
bit of a bigger, more aggressive body. Not bigger, but more aggressive.
Yeah, so I think everyone's in agreement that Mavs need defenders if we want to turn this around.
I'd move on from Kyrie.
I'd keep Kyrie one more season. I'd sign him long term so I can trade him to recoup the value. That's my personal opinion.
He is a hooper, but fits big.
Alrighty, let's talk about one of, if not my favorite team in the league. Some people say
Bradley Beal's worried.
He is worried. Bradley Beal is worried. All right. But first off, Bradley Beal has the second worst contract in the NBA behind only Zach LaVine.
Don't say it. Zach LaVine is having so much of a better season than Bradley Beal. It's not even close.
No, not
worst
even.
Contract on the league is Bradley Beal.
No.
Zach LaVine's on-ball defense in the second half of the season, forget about it.
Okay, you want to hear this? Bradley Beal, first off, way more efficient of a scorer, averaged like the same exact stats while shooting 51% from the field. Same exact stats, way more efficient of a score. All right, defensive rating this year, probably ass, but his defensive rating this season was, ass. All right. And
am I missing something? What? It's weird. I don't know. I just don't remember Bradley Beal scoring 25 a game this year.
Yeah, Bradley Beal put up 25 a game.
There's no way he did.
He did 23.6, bro. It's
24. That's not 25.
That's like rounding up. I'm sorry.
Okay, I don't know. He's not leaving. Bradley Beal doesn't want to leave. And he's not getting traded because.
Also, Kristaps Porzingis and Kyle Kuzma have both basically announced that they are resigning. Did you see that?
That's great because their supposed star player, still doesn't believe that they have enough. So, I guess that just means they need some better depth. Bradley Beal, first off, averaged 23.5, so incorrect. And Bradley Beal shot 36.5 from downtown, 50.5 from the field. Zach LaVine shot 48.5% from the field, 37.5% from downtown. So I'm throwing the efficiency out the window. I'm grabbing it, I'm throwing it out the window.
All right. So yesterday, Kristaps Porzingis said, "I feel at home here. I love the city." When asked about free agency, and that Kristaps Porzingis says him and Denny Avdia will spend the entire summer working out together, and he really hopes to bring out the best of Denny Avdia's game. Johnny Davis says he expects to play in the Las Vegas Summer League. And Kyle Kuzma Denny Avdia said that he's unlikely to play for the Israeli national team because he wants to spend the whole summer focusing on his three-point shooting and left-handed dribbling, while as well saying that Kyle Kuzma is not his dad, after Kuzma said he was a proud dad for Denny Avdia's fashion sense growing this year. And Bradley Beal says he won't use his no-trade clause as a trump card for leverage with the Wizards front office, even though he called this season a disappointment, and even though he believes he has to be more available and take better care of his body. Monte Morris says showed support and belief in his head coach, and that Wes Unseld wants the Wizards to play faster next year, and that's going to be their goal and identity, and everybody will be on the same page. And, Wes Unseld Jr. has now twice in the past 2 days referenced how there was no locker room drama this season. An overwhelming pulse of the group was positive. And Tommy Shepard, Wizards president, said re-signing Kyle Kuzma and Kristaps Porzingis is the number one priority and goal for this team, even though they were disgusted with their record and performance this season. So it's going to be interesting to see how this all plays out, because Kyle Kuzma says recently it's not about the money. I'm going to get paid regardless. and it's whether here or DC. He's just like, I want to be the best version of myself. I love where I live. I love this city. So every day that passes, the core is going to be Porzingis, and Corey Kespert's the best three. You saw that yesterday. Came out. Guess who's the best second-year three-point shooter in the league?
Oh, good for him.
Corey Kespert. Yep. And guess who's a top 5 3-point shooter on the season? Corey Kespert. Corey Kespert was, I'm pretty sure, a better three-point shooter than Steph Curry this year. Better three-point shooter than Klay Thompson, Damian Lillard. Like Corey Kespert, arguably a top 3 three-point shooter in the league.
Can we give a quick round of applause? I know it's the end of the season, and you saw guys like Theo Pinson with triple-double, right?
Theo Pinson had a triple-double?
Didn't he?
No fucking way.
I believe he did.
All right, but continue your little thing.
Mr. J. Huff, the G League dog.
40 minutes, 23 points, 13 rebounds, and 12 assists, 5 of 10. Theo Pinson just extended his career 6 more years.
Yeah, well, he's a dog, but I don't know if you remember J. Huff.
Jay Huff on the Wizards came out of nowhere. Jay Huff played more minutes this season than Isaiah Todd, and Isaiah Todd was drafted.
Yeah, the last 3 games, they let him loose. He had double-digit points in all of them on extremely efficient shooting. But the reason I mentioned that is because I remember watching the G League playoffs, and Mr. J. Huff was just balling his ass off. He's throwing like 20 and 15s like it was nothing.
So Rocket News, Bradley Beal is in his prime. He's just not been healthy. I think there was a quote right there where Bradley Beal says, I need to take better care of his body. And I think Bradley Beal might be insinuating that he might not be on that LeBron treatment, on the LeBron body regimen. And maybe that's something that he's thinking about doing. I just think the core of his team, Gafford, Porzingis, Kuzma, Monte Morris, Bradley Beal, Denny Avdia, Corey Kespert, that's like 7 guys. I think everybody else should be expendable. Like you keep.
I love Monty, but I think he's quite.
Oh, I agree. I agree. The point guard rotation of DeLon Wright, Monte Morris, but I also believe that if you bring in a guy like Tyus Jones and then you have Monte Morris and DeLon Wright, that's one of the better That's one of the better 3-point guards in the league rotation.
Brogdon an expiring?
No, I think he has 1 more year.
Okay. Yeah, Bradley Beal's in his. He just played his 11th season. He's definitely in his prime. He just needs to get and stay healthy. He couldn't catch a break this year. I do like a lot of the young pieces that the Wizards have. KP did a great job as well.
Johnny Davis closed out the season for us, dude. He was freaking terrible.
What pick are you guys gonna have this year?
Probably 10 again.
Same spot. Yeah.
Like I'm hoping. I really hope there's 3 guys we take: Kassan Wallace, Anthony Black, or Taylor Hendricks.
Anthony Black would be money.
Yeah, I just don't think if we draft a wing, I'm so mad. If we draft another wing, I'll be like, we have Corey Kesper, Kyle Kuzma, and Danny Avdia. Where is this guy going to get playing time? Yeah. If we draft a wing, all right. I think right now this offseason, you trade Johnny Davis, Isaiah Todd.
Oh wow.
You trade any young guy. Why we have young guys? We can't develop. I honestly think trade our freaking pick. You want to hear who we talked about this? Our last 10 picks since we drafted Bradley Beal has been like Otto Porter Jr., Troy Brown Jr.
Yeah, we did talk about this.
Yeah, I think there's been 5 picks in the last 10 years. Thomas Bryant wasn't there. Bradley Beal. I mean, with round picks. All right. Like this team can't be trusted to draft. All right. This team should not be drafted. All right. Last year, Johnny Davis and Yannick Zoza. The year before that, Corey Kesper. The year before that, Denny Avdia. The year before that, Rui Hachimura. The year before that, Troy Brown. The year before that, Jerry Grant, but they immediately traded him to the Knicks. Then the year before that, in the second round, they traded Jordan Clarkson. The year before that, Otto Porter. The year before that, Bradley Beal. Okay. The year before that, Jan Vesley. The year before that, John Wall. The year before that, Jermaine Taylor. The year before that, JaVale McGee. That Nick Young. Okay, there's a guy we drafted in the first round that I don't even think ever came to America. No, he did. He did. He played 3 seasons in America and was so bad.
Yeah, trading away is not the worst idea.
Just go get established guys that we don't have to worry about developing. That's what I think, at least.
Yeah.
Which, like,
it's not bad. Tyus Jones on every team, Chris, would be friggin' money.
Tyus Jones on any team. He's like Kevin Durant. He's one of the plug and play players in the world that you don't even have to worry about roster fit.
Yeah.
We also drafted a guy who was 5 years ago at 23, and we traded his draft rights to the Knicks, and he's now part of the Rockets. But he's 20. Isufu Sa-non.
Wow, I actually have no idea who that is.
I have no idea who it is either, but I do want to see his stats now, because like, is he good? Like, are we missing out on something?
He never played for the Rockets.
No, he never made it. He never came to America. Yeah, nobody's missing out on anything. This is another guy. We wasted the 18th overall pick on this fuck. Look at this. 3 seasons. That's awful. All righty, let's go over here and let's switch the topics right now. If you guys have been watching, hit that like and subscribe button. We greatly support you. I think we've been bouncing around 8 people on the stream.
You ready for a take?
Yeah, let me hear your take.
Playing sucks. Get rid of it.
Why?
Is there any person on the planet who cares about the Bulls-Raptors game?
Me? I'm about to pre-make a video.
Both of those 2 teams are going to lose to whoever they play. I love the Thunder. I love the Pelicans. If the Wolves weren't the catastrophic, I don't think the Wolves drama is as big as some people are making it out to be. I think this is another year now that we see the 7 and 8 seed get into the play-in because they're the playoffs. I don't think the 9-10 game is needed. I really don't. As a Bulls fan, and I know so many Raptors fans, we're both done with this season. Let's get it over and done with. It does not matter. We're going to get swept in the first round, maybe losing 5. I don't think the 9-10 games are important in any regard right now. I don't think they ever have been.
All right. So you're a Debbie Downer.
Just nobody, I'm a Bulls fan. Nobody cares. We both have had Bulls Raptors. We've had the worst seasons imaginable.
You know what? I don't like you. I don't like
7 and 8. Just have 7 and 8 be in the playoffs, and everybody would be happy. Obviously, Pelican and Thunder fans wouldn't be perfect, but the Thunder had a great season. The Pelicans had an injured season. It is what it is. Now, I will stand corrected if one of those 9 or 10s from the Western Conference get into the playoffs. Yeah, and I'm sure for a Thunder fan, it's different being a Thunder and Bulls fan right now, but I don't think the play-in's needed. I think it's overhyped is a better word.
So right here, we got the first couple. 1 second. We got the first couple matches.
True.
And right here, we want to go through the first couple, and that's going to be 4 and 5, which is Suns versus Clippers, Cavs versus Knicks, which people say is usually the best matchup in the playoffs because they're the most evenly matched teams. Then we got 3-6, which is Kings versus Warriors, 76ers versus Nets. And the other 4 games have not been decided due to the play-in. So we're just going to go through these first couple. And we'll do, I could even zoom in on this a little bit more because there's only 4 games we're talking about. And those 4 games are right here. One more. Oh, yeah. Booyah. Look at that. So now we see this 4-5 Clippers versus Suns. This is probably going to be a lot of people saying the Clippers beat the Suns. The Clippers are going to win a championship. If the Suns beat the Clippers, they're going to go on. I think it all comes down to health. I'm pretty sure we heard Paul George might be unavailable during this matchup. We don't know if he's going to be there. It's still not 100% sure. What is your first take from this first matchup, which is Suns versus Clips show, and why?
I don't think it'll be close, man. I really don't. No Paul George it's catastrophic, and you're not going to like my reasoning for it, but we're all about to see it on a grand scale. One of these teams has Russell Westbrook, the other team doesn't. So that's all you need, and Russell Westbrook will be a huge reason why they don't advance. Now, maybe he'll take over for a game and they'll sneak it out. I agree with Kerm here. Suns in 6 seems pretty likely, especially if you get Paul George back at some point in the season. The Clippers are still a great team, but they're so good on paper. And even if Paul George was healthy, and even if Russell Westbrook helped them in the playoffs, which is inconceivable, they've dealt with so much crap in the last month of the season. Like they blew any chemistry that they had, any momentum that they had. And you see it with just like late game fouls, late game turnovers are big for them. They're just not clicking on all cylinders. And the Suns haven't lost a game with KD. I wouldn't even be surprised if this was a sweep like Boston last year, where I don't know, man. I think the Suns are a really good team. I don't know why the Clippers won their last game. They should have lost that game, even if it puts you in the play-in, because if you're worried about being in the play-in, you should be – there's bigger fish to fry. You got to make the playoffs. Clippers, the Suns, as an NBA fan, as a bandwagon Laker and Warrior fan, I love it because it's pretty perfect. One of those or two of those three teams, either the Nuggets or Phoenix or Clippers, two of those teams are going to be gone in the Western Conference Finals. If you're a team like, Golden State right now, I guess the Lakers are a little bit different, but not really. If they win,
I agree.
They will.
I think that was
Clippers should have lost.
I agree. This is a great way to put it, that whoever wins this match, there's one less good team in the playoffs, which maybe for another team like the Lakers or the Warriors or the Kings, this may maybe make their road a little bit easier.
Yeah.
Because you have two of arguably, potentially, on paper, the best rosters in the playoffs, and you're having them play each other, so only one's going to advance. So makes the road maybe a bit easier for whoever is going to face them in the next round. I personally see this as all going to come down. Like, in my mind, I got to take Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, and Chris Paul. They've been undefeated together. They look insane. I also think if I had to choose Zubats or DeAndre Ayton, I'm going DeAndre Ayton. And then that's how I see it. I'll admit the Clippers have the upper hand, that they're deeper. They can throw out 20 different lineups. Well, on paper, we're saying that
there are 20 different lineups at this
point.
I
know. What I'm just saying, on paper, this is a team the Clippers can come out literally with one lineup in the first quarter, second lineup in the second quarter, and then a completely different two lineups in the second half than they ran the first half. Suns really can't do that. And the Suns are one injury away from just being decimated. Wow, but
yeah, I think they'll be fine.
I'll be fine, yeah. Because for some reason the Clippers don't have chemistry some nights.
Yeah, at all.
So I'm putting my money on the Suns. You?
I 100% think the Suns will win it. And I'll go a step further. Mr. Aseo, I'm very excited for a second-round matchup of the Phoenix Suns, i.e. Chris Paul, against the third-time MVP, Nikola Jokic, because you want to know what? That series won't be close, and hopefully by then you'll have the proper amount of footage to be like, oh, yeah, Nikola Jokic against a point guard like Chris Paul is worthless on defense.
All right, so the next one is Cavs versus Knicks, and this is a hard one because, again, another duo that they've seen evenly matched, and for me, have they ruled out Julius Randle? I know Julius Randle might not be. What's the word? We know anything about
catastrophic?
If
Julius Randle's out, that's catastrophic.
I think the Cavs win this because, I
agree fully.
Donovan Mitchell will take over.
Steady progress. He's aiming for game one return.
Aiming for a game one return. Yeah. Evan Mobley's going to shut down Julius Randle. Jared Allen versus Mitchell Robinson. I'm taking Jared Allen. Then Donovan Mitchell versus Quentin Grimes or RJ Barrett. Donovan Mitchell. Darius Garland versus Jalen Brunson. Darius Garland. I mean, I got
doubt. Yeah.
And the thing is, the Cavs don't need to score from three.
No, they're not a crazy scoring team. Watch out for a guy like Karis LeVert to help him out too off the bench. Mm-hmm. I think the reason the Knicks, I won't be surprised if the Knicks win it, but the Cavs are going to win it. And the reason is Donovan Mitchell. Donovan Mitchell will probably actually average 40 points in this first round of the playoffs. And he will be, when you're thinking, who's going to win a series, who has either the more superstars or who has the better superstars? And the answer is the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Great defense. I agree that maybe one might argue that the Knicks, even though the Knicks have an 8-man rotation, that 8-man rotation is deeper, like better players off the bench than what the Cavs have. But I believe in Karis LeVert, Ricky Rubio, and I guess Jetty Osman and Dean Wade are the other guys that they have off the bench. Like I think they got its defense. Like I think the Cavs are a team that when they're hot, they're hitting threes, but on most nights they're not a 3-point shooting team. They're just going to dominate you inside, and I just think the Cavs are bigger. And I still think this is going to be a 6-game series, though, at least.
Yeah.
I think
I can get behind that. There will be games Donovan Mitchell struggles shooting, and that means the Cavs are going to struggle to score. And you get a guy like Jalen Brunson drop 32, and Randall drop 28, and RJ chips in with 22. Yeah, 100%. It'll be close, no doubt. I think the Cavs got the upper hand. But yeah, Mitchell, as all great scorers do, he'll have some inefficient games. And if you're the Knicks, that's what you got to do to beat him. You got to probably double team him every single time he touches that basketball, especially in the fourth quarter.
No, I agree. So I think, I agree. I think right here where you look at it,
it could even go to 7.
It could go to 7.
Definitely go to 7.
I just think Darius Garland and Donovan Mitchell is better than the Jalen Brunson-led backcourt, offensively and defensively. I just think offensively the Cavs backcourt will cook the Knicks backcourt. And then the Julius Randle and Mitchell Robinson and Isaiah Hartenstein versus Evan Mobley and Jared Allen. I just think Evan Mobley, he's gonna be a game wrecker. Yeah, I think it's Cavs in 6 or 7.
I might go Cavs in 7. I like that. Watch out for a guy like IQ to drop 26.
I think the Knicks will give a fair fight, and also don't be surprised if the Knicks win.
Yeah,
but
be a great series.
Let's move over to Kings versus Warriors, and
I don't have a broom.
You're thinking it's a sweep for the Warriors?
No, I'm just kidding.
And we said that the Clippers aren't toast, but
Clippers are toast because of a guy named Rose Wilson.
We just don't know. They're very volatile. We don't know what Clippers team we'll see. So that's why we didn't take the Clippers. We both took the Suns. And if I have to say, I take the Suns in 6.
Second.
Warriors versus Kings. This is weird because it's a good matchup for both teams. If the Kings were playing a team with like a dominant center who would out rebound them, I would say this is differently. But I think the Kings have a chance of beating the Warriors. This comes down to Andrew Wiggins and how healthy the Warriors are. But at the same time, the Kings are playing the team they're based off of. So they're playing themselves.
Yeah. I got money on Sac. I have a
You got money winning?
Yeah. I
got Sac winning?
Yeah.
I thought you were a Warriors fan.
Well, I did this in the middle of the season. I took him 100 to 1 and threw down like $50. Nick and I, we put in $100, $10,000 payout, first ever NBA bet. And then I saw the first round matchup and it's like, oh, I'm going to pickle here. I'll be rooting, unfortunately, for the Sacramento Kings because I love them. But I will also be rooting for Golden State because I love them too. I don't think Sacramento can win this series, to be honest.
Well, they can. They can if Domantas Sabonis just goes insane and doesn't let Draymond Green and Kevin Looney grab a rebound.
I think
that there's a small possibility that Domantas Sabonis averages 20 and 20 through a 7 game
definitely.
Series.
Kayvon Looney, they're gonna have to rebound the ball. I think Kayvon Looney is one of the more underrated players in the entire league, but in the playoffs, I don't know if he'll sniff over 20. Yeah, man.
I think the Kings, if they win this game, they force the Warriors to shoot terribly, and Domantas Sabonis and Alex Len control the boards all game. That's how I think the Kings, for them to win, well, that's been their backup center over Rashawn Holmes. They've been playing with Alex Len.
Doesn't make me feel better.
I know, but I think they've been playing it for rim protection.
I think Sac's got to win their first 2.
I believe that. I think this is a 6-game. I think this is a 6-game. If the Warriors win, it's a 6-game series to the Warriors. If the Kings win, it's a 7-game series for the Kings, and it's because Sabonis absolutely goes insane rebounding and has the greatest 7-game series defensively of his life.
Like, They're capable of it. They do it every single fourth quarter, play good defense. You just worry with such a fast-paced team like Sacramento. Golden State has no problems, no issues, no concerns going super fast. They'll chuck up shots too, and eventually they'll start hitting because of Steph Curry, Klay Thompson,
Jordan Poole.
Jordan Poole. I think the Warriors will win in 6 games. But if Sacramento, Sacramento has to use your home field advantage, your home court advantage. Like, you have to, because it's not easy to win. It's not easy to win in Golden State on the road in the playoffs, especially.
Is it really up the road? It's like an hour away.
It is on the road, man. And Golden State is such a bad road team that I wouldn't be surprised if Sacramento just – because from Golden State standpoint, it's like, okay, all we need to do is win one road game. All we need to do is win game 1 or 2, and the Golden State Warriors will win the series.
Yeah, Golden State's the worst road team ever.
Sacramento wins the first 2 games, I think they win the series.
I personally think if Sacramento wins the series, it's a 7-game series.
Yeah, I agree.
If the Warriors win this, it's a 6-game series because the Warriors win 2 games on the road. Yeah,
they'll
2 road games.
Road games.
Yeah, they win road games. That's what I think. If the Warriors come out, game 1's on the road for the Warriors, and they win game 1, I think the Warriors are winning this.
Yeah.
If the Kings come out, win their first 2 home games, and then they steal a road game at the Warriors' home, Kings are winning it.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to the last one. Sixers versus Nets. Yeah, I think the Nets steal 1.
Sweet.
I think Mikal Bridges
couldn't do it last year.
I know.
Kevin Durant.
Sweet. Though, can we agree that there is going to be like the small dark possibility that the Brooklyn Nets shock the Sixers?
It's not even close, dude. Even
but what
hobbled James Harden?
I know, but like Mikal Bridges shuts down everyone not named Mikal Bridges, Cam Johnson, and Spencer Dinwiddie shut down everyone not named Joel Embiid, and then Nick Claxton fucking turns into Giannis Antetokounmpo and tells Joel Embiid, test me, and like start Brook Lopez blocking shots. All right. So what happens? What happens if the Nets force? Okay, wait. Hold up. Can I entertain this? Can I entertain this? If the Nets somehow beat the Sixers, do the Sixers just blow it up and rebuild?
I would sell the franchise. I think if I was the Sixers and we lost that series.
Joel Embiid would request a trade at the post-game press conference after losing that. He'd be like, I've tried my best. I've tried. But I need to.
There are some things that are in the Nets' favor, like a hobbled Harden, but
did you just see the Sixers 5 back to back? I agree. It's Sixers 5. Everyone agrees. Sixers and 5. Nets steal 1. I mean, okay, let me hear. How can the Nets steal this? How can the Nets shock them?
Yeah, I think you can't shut down Embiid. I think you're going to have to shut down every other player, like you're saying, and you're going to have to hope that, PJ offered me nothing on offense. You're going to have to hope that Tyrese Maxey can't throw a grape in the ocean all series, and you're going to have to hope that, obviously your players have to step up, but like defensively, you're going to also have to hope Tobias Harris has his first probably ever bad playoff series.
So for the way I see this is these are 2 completely different teams. Sixers super good at offense, Nets super good at defense. If the Nets defense can shut down the Sixers offense, and then the Nets offense, which is like Cam Johnson, Mikal Bridges, Nick Claxton, Seth Curry, Joe Harris, just go on like a shooting rampage, and James Harden and like the rest of the boys aren't doing well, that's the only way. But I think everyone's in agreement. This is Philadelphia in 5. And if they don't win this series, don't expect Joel or James to be back. Especially don't expect Doc. Doc will be fired before he leaves the court.
Yeah, they took down Toronto last year in the first 3 games with ease. So I think it's better this year. Embiid's better this year. The only way the Brooklyn Nets have a chance this series is if James Harden doesn't play a dribble.
I completely understand that. All righty. So let's cue up the music for how we like to wrap up the shows.
We got Lakers tonight.
We do have
Lakers. A late one. Let's see.
It's 9 o'clock. 10 o'clock for you. Yeah, I wish it was 10 o'clock for me. That way I'd only
actually, you know what? Tonight I don't mind it.
If it was 10 o'clock for me, it'd be perfect because then I'd only have 30 minutes till I'm off work and I could get home to watch the full second half. But what I'm doing is I'm pre-editing B-roll for all the games, for both teams, sending it to my phone. That way I can excuse myself, go to the car, record a 5-minute video on my voice memos, edit it on Premiere Rush, which is Premiere Pro for your phone, and upload.
Yeah.
But let's get right into a game we like to wrap up the show, and that is called Purtle.
Apartment approved yesterday.
Apartment approved?
Yep.
Where are you moving?
Fort Myers.
You're staying?
Police, yeah.
So you're staying till November?
Yeah. Yeah.
So the studio will be 3 months late.
I need to compile money, dude. I cannot afford to get a fucking studio and a 1-bedroom. I'm gonna have to wait till Nick can move to Boca, dude.
Is this Trevor Keels? No, I get that.
Nah, that's I think that's Jalen Green.
He played for the Knicks, but he's a former Knicks.
Oh, is it really? Oh shit. And by the way, it'll never be Trevor Keels still.
Former Knicks guard in the West.
6'4". It's gonna be so obvious.
I have no idea who this is.
I have a feeling he's gonna be old.
I'm trying to think. He's like a thick boy.
Let's just throw something out there.
I know. I'm trying.
6'4". 6'4" guard.
Who's on the? I'm just doing the. I know this is not right. I just want to do because it's a West team. Okay, so it's in the Pacific or the Southwest. Who's the 6'4" Rockets that wasn't originally a Rocket?
It's not Kevin. And it's not Jalen.
Was KJ Martin drafted by the team or was he an undrafted?
He doesn't have dreads. He was drafted by the Rockets. Oh no, he's in the West. And he's not Daniel House's similar hair.
Yeah, that's a good one.
But wrong conference or division conference.
I'm trying to think of. I know. All right, so he's in the Southwest. Oh, wait.
Oh, yeah, wow.
When I saw that, that's when I got it. I was like, Frank Ntilikina. Because Knicks, the whole time I was thinking former Knicks guy.
He's a sneaky 24.
That's a sweet. Yeah, holy fuck. And he's been in the league for 7 years.
Yeah.
Right. Wait, 6 years.
Shit. It's got to be 6.
It has to be
at least 5.
It's 6.
I remember playing as him in like
2017.
Yeah.
Dude, he's 24. He's been in the league for 6
wild.
years. Watch Frank Ntilikina be like the next Kyle Lowry, where in like,
dude, he's a dog.
In 3 years, because Frank Ntilikina, everyone says this. He's a great passer, great ball handler, great defender. The only thing keeping him from being a starting point guard in the NBA is he's not a consistent 3-point shooter. Like he's had one season where he shot consistently, but there's a reason why he stays in the NBA is because he's an absolute dog on defense. So it's crazy to think that like if he goes, Damn. That's wild. Supposing Mark Cuban and that the Knicks. Okay, so the Knicks chose Ntilikina at 8, and then Dennis Smith Jr. was drafted at 9, and supposedly Frank Ntilikina was available at Dallas. They would have taken him, and that's why they brought him over.
Oh, wow.
Mark Cuban was a huge fan of Frank Ntilikina. Dude, he's 24 only. That's fucking crazy. All right, any closing thoughts? Wait, so Nick is coming back?
Hopefully. Hopefully. I don't know where the hell you live.
There's a small possibility that Luke's moving out with me. So if
Let's go.
So if you're looking for a place, we might get a house. Join the house.
Allergic to dogs.
We've talked. My dog is hypoallergenic. We've talked about. My girlfriend is allergic to dogs.
I'd have to come sleep at your house for a day.
Yeah, that's fine. Well, my girlfriend only gets allergic reactions from my dog is if she licks her too much.
I know. I've only had that. Even with hypoallergenic dogs, I've only had non-bad issues with a Yorkie.
Yeah, like the only thing, like my girlfriend, like my dog doesn't really shed. She only sheds twice a year, and it's for like a 1 week period. And it's very minuscule. It's when like winter ends and she sheds off her winter coat. And then at the end of the summer, she kind of sheds, but like you don't even notice it. But yeah, she's hyper.
Freaking house.
But yeah, no, because I remember I sent you that one. It was like a 4-bedroom for like 2,300.
Yeah,
like with a garage, 4-bedroom in Coral Gables. We found for 2,300.
Yeah, it had like 1 bathroom or something. What was the 2 bathrooms?
1.5.
What was it? 1.5 bathrooms.
1.5 bathrooms. So when it meant we were like said fuck no, because
at that point we should just build a stew in the other house. Yeah. Or in the other room.
That's what I'm saying. Over the garage, we were saying.
That's right. Yeah.
Because if all the bedrooms are filled, we could do the garage.
Fucking hot in there in Florida, man.
I know. That's why you put an AC.
Get some AC going. Yeah.
Yeah, but if it's a 4-bedroom place, that means me, Nikki, you, and Luke, and then there'd be an extra bedroom. So that could be an extra bedroom thing.
Yeah.
We gotta know because I was looking. It's for some reason like you can get dope ass fucking houses for the same price as a 1-bedroom, 2-bedroom apartment in Miami.
Anywhere, dude. I was looking at that in Fort Myers. It was so hard to acquire. There was like, good deals on houses.
All right, I'm gonna head out, guys. If there's anything else you wanted us to talk about, let us know. You got anything else to say for the beautiful people?
Go Lakers.
All right. That's gonna be it from us today. Take care, guys. Hope you guys have a good one because we know we will. If you guys did enjoy it, be a friend and tell a friend. Cheers. See you tomorrow.